keeping the repair personnel so long? Oh, greetings. By any chance, did you happen to encounter the repair personnel I dispatched to Resistor Bank 2789B12? Our new JTY-1030 resistor banks are built with enough durability to suffer through a tremendous amount of misuse. But the brutish handling by the Protectorate is too much for it. The misuse is causing moisture uptake, which causes the resistors to give off more heat. In the snow, that means more moisture, which means even more heat. I'm sure you can observe that the problem is cyclical in nature. I don't suppose you'd be willing to aid me in fixing this? It's down in the valley just southwest of the archive. The heat has liquefied all the snow off the glass surface. It is an easy location to observe. Ursopods, Protectorate forces, rogue scrappers, blizzards, mantisaurs, maybe even Auntie's choice forces. Truly a smorgasbord of unfortunate options. In the short term, it's wreaking havoc with the weather and causing small, localized blizzards. Long term, the Archive would suffer irreparable damage to multiple systems. Undoubtedly, this would reduce its maximum operations per millisecond. Obviously, this is unacceptable. I loathe that, for now, our actions may aid the Protectorate. But we must protect the Archive. Oh, this is most appreciated. Unfortunately, the previous repair personnel took the only repair kit I had on hand. I'll mark the coordinates of the resistor bank on your map, but locating the repair personnel will be up to you. If you find him, you find the kit. I hope. Otherwise, the repair will be most difficult. I'll guide you.
Grafton playing low with cold. Whole damn arm's asleep.
can't talk, calculating an inverse complex sine function in my head.
Hello. Farewell. Thank you for this efficiently compact conversation.
Have you at least determined the cause of Happy to chat for 0.07 seconds. Oh, time's up. Bye.
Use caution as you progress. There's been reports of Ursapods in the area.
Hey, Commander. Something tells me the Order won't be keen on letting an enemy soldier walk through their gates. Reckon I ought to step away?
Heard that rift near the Ark? Halt! The Oracle Laureate sent ahead to expect someone matching your description. However, he said nothing about admitting questionable allies. Cultist. Agitators are not permitted inside Laplace's garden. Your companion will have to wait outside.
How'd you like to find your insides waiting outside?
I find that an improbable outcome were we to engage in violent conflict. Heard that rift near the Archive has destabilized. Must be a sign. The Protectorate's latest action clearly runs counter to the plan. Mark my supposition. It's only a matter of time until we're called upon to take back the Archive. You're cleared to enter. Go on in.
Please, don't distract me from my more pressing distractions.
I doubt the denizens Laplace's Guard. Take my change of heart, Protectorate law, at face value. It may be best to leave me on the ship.
Heard that rift near the archive has destabilized. Must be a sign.
Try
The
not to
Protectorate's
deviate from the
latest
norm.
action clearly runs counter to the...
Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's Garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is. Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you? I'm quite sure I don't know what refugees you're referring to. I fear our conversation has drifted from its central thesis. Continuing along this current trajectory seems unwise. Can I help answer any other queries for you? May all your problems precede solutions.
Is it just me? Or does something seem... Oh, never mind.
Keep moving.
I won't think twice about applying the precise amount of force.
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction. Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Before I can administer your conviction, I need to ask you a question. In what area of your life do you feel you need the most improvement? Personal or professional? Expand on that for me. You are a single gear in the grand workings of the universe, and should not expect to control all of its mechanisms or outcomes. Good. Never forget that you are a valuable factor in the universal equation and necessary to advancing the plan. Now then, a brief conversation is customary following the initial service. I haven't seen you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. I see. And what lucky department have you been apportioned to? Surely it must be one of the big three. Of course. The Vicars are an integral part of the Order, without which we would all be left to assemble our own frameworks of contrition. How positively dreadful. You know, I'm actually nearing the end of my shift. If you're amenable to continuing our chat somewhere more private, I think we could both benefit. Right this way.
Broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the novel.
You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. Recall what you have observed thus far. Isn't it strange how calm everyone is? The Order is in the middle of a war. A war, one might say, they are losing. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. I'm limiting my water intake and using other pharmaceuticals to combat the effects. It's not a perfect system, but it works adequately enough. Moderate your volume, please! No one here is in any immediate peril. Probably. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. Took you long enough to ask. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your conscience. We only mean to study the drug and consider all of its many applications. I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more detail than that. Well, I'm not asking you to do something an honest person would. Think of this as a business transaction, if that eases your mind. No, this is about control. Everything is. Most see this as a war of survival. But what everyone's really fighting for is control over the narrative. To be declared victor and have their vision for Arcadia deemed superior. It follows that a drug capable of suppressing discontent could also be used to suppress greater forms of resistance. That's all. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it Perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? It's too diluted by the time it enters circulation. I need the unfiltered drug, which is only accessible to those working in water reconditioning. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier. And I'd like to offload some of this merchandise. Sounds like a win-win.
Security personnel are permitted in this booth. Please.
Agent, over here.
A visitor? It's for the best that you're talking to me now instead of mid-work. I do seem to have a slight propensity for stabbing randomly with my tools when interrupted, but I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. What are you... Beckett. Another prediction that he hasn't seen fit to notify me about. A more cynical exemplar might posit his doing this to be intentional. If you're here, I imagine you aim to petition the presiding bishop for her support, which is hardly a surprise. She is the most important individual in Arcadia. I'm glad we're in accord. The presiding bishop's leadership allows the Order to act in Arcadia's best interest. Without her, we would be nothing. The corporate invaders will suck Arcadia of its resources and cast it to the wind. And the Protectorate are no better than machines. Moreover, once we solve the universal equation, it will benefit all of humanity. You, me, everyone. No more suffering, no more doubt. Well, I hope you'll see in time. There is a task of pivotal importance to the Order, but I cannot entrust it with just any come-by-chance outsider. As head of the Order's exemplars, it's my responsibility to assess whose aims upon Ruth may be malicious. Prove yourself to me first, then we may discuss the rest. To the point. Very well. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there. From what I understand, Vicar Levin's continued existence is a mere side effect of whatever personal vendetta you happen to be attending to. I'm pleased he does not lie among the ranks of the dead, but I will need a more tangible effort on your part to trust you. I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines.
Probably best to mention this to Asa before we smear blood all over Newton.
No admittance without the Artificer Laureate's permission.
The Chamber of Conflict Evaluation and Strategic Planning is currently off limits.
Hello, stranger. Mercenary. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Any undue rage you note in my tone is not at all related to the recent coup in my beloved Protectorate. I do so dearly love residing in a nest of traitors, waiting for them to capitulate, unable to aid my fellows at home. It is truly a wonderful feeling. Consul, the Consul. The Consul is the worst traitor of all! In short, no. No, the Order must capitulate to the Sovereign. Only execution awaits the Consul, and all others shall regain their senses. All this is beyond my purview, I remind myself. I must remain focused on the Order. I am not just anyone. The duty of a liaison is of the utmost importance, requiring due diligence and delicacy. Though I suppose it a mite strange that this task fell to me, as I'd urge the vehement tanning of any wayward body bent on disrespecting the Protectorate, which would now include the Protectorate at large. Madness, slandering my beloved Sovereign, following that feckless Consul, makes my blood boil. I had reason to suspect the Consul for some time, but this is beyond the range of simple suspicion. Some subjects had begun to doubt the Sovereign's ability to lead as his father had. But I did not expect them to turn so openly. Anyone who didn't side with the Sovereign will pay, sooner or later. You may count on it. I've proudly served the Protectorate my whole life. Now look at it. Traitors from without, traitors from within. It's enough to make an old man despair. That Consul, I never trusted that miserable bastard. His betrayal is so galling, I'd almost care to join the armed forces to bring him to justice myself. But my hands quaver with age, and the Sovereign has tasked me with my own duty. I must see it to completion before all else. Listen, you. The Protectorate does not do delegation. The Protectorate has a will that must be upheld. My presence here is a display of more faith than these fools deserve. Niceties are irrelevant, and likely detrimental to the task at hand. I am here to make the Order see the error of their ways. All other particulates are frivolous. Hate is an inaccurate phrase. I find them arrogant and exasperating. Without the Protectorate, this little organization would have no holdings to squat in. I am here because the Sovereign has tasked me with bringing these wayward, pretentious toddlers back into the Protectorate fold. Unfortunately, my time here has taught me that only mass death has the power to change the local hearts and minds. Perhaps enough will be alive to save afterwards.
like.
An inopportune time for distraction. Deactivating quickly and efficiently.
Ready to waste them on your command.
Never would have guessed the Order had all this space available, given what we saw at Matriarch's Mercy. Wonder why they're not moving folks in.
I hope you have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. Likewise. I'll remain in the garden a little while longer, but it would be best if we limited contact with one another. No offense. But who knows? The plan mystifies even the greatest minds. Perhaps our paths will intersect again someday.
Indignities of the body are nothing contrasted to the Order's future. Keep those eyes open, soldiers!
Commander, if I know one thing for certain, murdering members of the Order isn't my role within the grand plan.
Indignities of the body are nothing contrasted to the Order's future. Keep those eyes open, soldiers! indignities of the body are nothing contrasted to the Order's future. Keep those eyes open, soldiers. Corneal frostbite is there.
You the eccentric sword.
Stun weapon ready, Commander.
Soldier, please assess your pain on a variable scale of 1 to 100. 1 being entirely pain-free, and 100 being the worst pain you can imagine.
There.
No lectures, please.
There's little you can tell me I couldn't also tell you.
Just gone. No, excuse me. I don't think you have the author is... It's fascinating. It seems gravity doesn't apply to the rift. Do your own. But it somehow maintains its position in space. All the items we put into the rift, they've been reconstituted.
But in a state far different from their original configuration. Fascinating. Damn it. It's reverted to its previous state. Is it a failing of the device or an inevitable effect of the passage of time? Perhaps observe. On rare occasions, a plan provides two unknown variables simultaneously. Years of factual data gathering have taught me to simply stand aside and observe quietly. That second unknown variable is very observant, Assistant Oddbird.
You. I don't know you. But you, I do. It's good to see you, Asa. It's me, Severin. You know, I've never been to Cloister before. It's cold.
What is wrong with you? Boy, damn it! Did they mentally refresh you?
No, let's just say I'm well lubricated. You tried the new Prestige gin? It helps when you have to do something you really don't want to do. Yes, there are a bunch of sentinels in hiding. When I give the word, they're to execute both of you.
Not before I mentally refresh your brain pan with my knife.
Maybe I deserve to be. I didn't want to do this. I guess I shouldn't have questioned the kill order so loudly. It was real. It came from the Exalted Leader herself. She summoned me, knew of the message I'd sent, said I'd ruined everything. To save myself, save the Dawn, I had to do this. I'm a coward. I didn't want to die. I'm sorry, Asa.
If not, we'll kill you before they can stop us. And you should count yourself lucky. If the commander hadn't been rubbing off on me, you'd not even have the choice.
But if I do what you're asking, they'll kill me. That gin must have muddled my gray matter more than I thought. I'd have sworn there was no way out of this, but what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Thank you. And thank you, Asa. I thought I was dead.
What an idiot. I can't believe I thought of him as a friend. I can't believe the Exalted Leader sent Severin as bait, not to mention betraying the Dawn to save her own life. What a coward. The unspeakable things I will do when I find her. Well, once I find her. The Exalted... No, I won't refer to her as such any longer. Dagmar continually moved around for safety. She always initiated contact with me. We do know that she was in league with the Sentinels, though. There's nothing of it but to get ourselves inside their headquarters on Praetor. We'll track her by accessing their comm system. We don't need to worry about their systems. My parents were vigilant. I stole their access codes when I was younger, but never had the nerve or call to use them. Once we do, they'll become unusable, as they'll set off all sorts of alarms.
Your shift on the... Show your workers shove off. Are you going to be a problem? Because I have a solution.
Captain.
I feel no reason to reason with you. Please, don't distract me from my more pressing distractions. You there. If you happen to be headed into Protectorate territory, can you keep your lamps open for my scouts? That squad should have reported back hours ago. You there. If you happen to be headed into Protectorate territory...
Dagmar. The cur. How could she betray me? Her, of all people. The one who recruited me into the Dawn and saved my life. And out of all the cultists, she elevated me to the highest rank in the Dawn. was her right hand. She was my supervisor. I was just a lowly scientist. She alone could see my heart through the shell the Protectorate encased me in. And when she saw my pain, she looked into my background. It was then that she recruited me. My psychological profile. I saw it once. Recommended sending me to mental refreshment when I was young. Repeatedly. Something about killing sprats. But my parents were able to keep that from happening. The paranoia the Protectorate creates in its subjects crowds everything else out. Even familial love. They were terrified that my behavior would lead people to start looking at them askance. You remember I told you they were vigilant, right? They could have helped me in numerous ways, ways lesser subjects' parents couldn't. But they did nothing. Just locked me away until I learned to hide my feelings. My existence was always bleak, joyless, without purpose. Just like every other subject's. Dagmar was the first friend I'd had since I was a young child. She gave me a life. A family. Or so I thought. Thank you. But Dagmar has shown me I can't depend on anyone. I have to let my beliefs guide me now. They're all I have left. It's hard to explain, but outside of the lab, thinking only ever confused me, got me into trouble. Since I joined the Dawn, everything has been so much simpler. I depend on the Dawn's beliefs. Without them, I would have nothing but a purposeless existence. I just can't, and I won't. I'm certain we've better things to do than whatever this is. Commander. Such as?
Gloria, Arcadia, never to be outshone. Our colony, Arcadia.
Assuming you're not some sort of enigmatic mirage or baleful apparition. I thought I would never see you again. It's been what? 19 years? 20?
21 years, 5 months, 6 days. I've kept up on a few former colleagues.
A few? Right. You retain a different admirer in every port, I'm sure.
Yes. These are my colleagues. They assisted me in a matter regarding a conspiracy headed by a cabal. It was all rather involved. My identity became revealed after I'd been undercover for a considerable time.
You were flushed out? What other low probability events have occurred since... Oh, wait, I'm being rude. Forgive my atrophied social graces. I shoot most of my visitors lately. I am Anaïs Bujold. Welcome to my backwater ramshackle abode.
Seer Anaïs Bujold.
No one's called me that in, well, you know exactly how long, apparently.
If I'd realized this was a formal visit, I'd have worn my fancy killing clothes.
Charmed, I'm sure. So nice to see Marisol gaining such interesting friends. She's mentioned the little spook show we used to work at, right? I was an analyst in predictive risk assessment. She was, in the field, as it were. Solving the universal equation is the ultimate purpose of every member of the Order. Our express remit was to identify events that could delay or derail that.
Once an issue was identified, I'd be assigned to address it.
At a certain point, I became one of her assignments. I was developing a means of sidestepping much of the presumed requirements to solve the universal equation, using a series of reasoned shortcuts and educated postulations, filling in certain blanks. Trillions. Theoretically, it would hurry the process along so it could be solved in our lifetime, but it was unorthodox, risky if taken too far. I knew the Council would judge it mathematical heresy, so I attempted to work in secret. Eventually, I was discovered, excommunicated, sent here.
Others facing similar charges were often transferred off-planet, then simply disappeared somewhere along the way.
Yes. Fortunately, someone interceded. "3 years I've sent them packing. Corporate leeches, brainwashed drones, whatever this shoddy little bunch is now. Think any had the slightest wit how difficult it would be to pack up 20 years of research? The sheer number of journals and binders? Why, the Abakai alone? No. If they did, they would realize I am here to stay." Well, not as much nowadays. Rather obvious there's nothing here. It's bereft of any strategic importance. All it offers is the promise of getting shot. Yet still, every now and again, someone gets a wild hair and opts wise to come calling. Suspect it's simple arrogance, really. Someone shoos them off, perhaps a mite rudely, and they take umbrage, get all prideful and huffish, and so it goes. When logic fails, flaws of character abound.
Yes. With ample time to think, I've come to recognize I made an error.
Really? That is, an unprecedented statement for you. But do go ahead, I'm listening.
The last 20 years, the Order needlessly, heedlessly stumbled. First, Antes invaded, then the Protectorate. We lost the Archive. Twice. Had your work continued, I believe we'd have remained closer to our true path. If I had ignored the Council's command. It was a mistake. I miscalculated.
If not for you, I'd be dead right now. And you were right to shut me down. My research was dangerous. A serious threat to the entire universe. I know this for certain now. I've run the numbers. Repeatedly. Had to do all my calculations long form, free of computronic assistance. Wouldn't advise it, but I've been here on my own for decades, and I remain a reasonable statistician. I calculated what might occur if my work was completed, and there is a troublingly high, statistically significant chance of things ending. Everything ending. I mean, microbes, mantisaurs. Soltuna might make it, the resistant little buggers. But anything capable of higher order thinking would be gone. I understand how that sounds, but I have spent years checking and rechecking each and every variable. I assume all my notes and calculations were destroyed years ago.
Anais, I'm afraid it's not that simple. When we shut down your work, it was quarantined, not disposed of. The Order stores all avenues of study deemed dangerous near here at a facility in Winter's Grasp. Unorthodox notion reclusion.
Of all the bureaucratic... No. Winter's Grasp is crawling with Anti's choice. A full unit just moved in. Marisol, will you... Can you...
You're asking me to infiltrate a covert installation to destroy something that could likely end the universe. Been years since anyone said something like that to me. Of course.
I might need a little time to ready this place for unwelcome guests. Wouldn't take long.
No, you should stay here. We'll take care of this.
I foresee a 4.7% chance of me complying with that. But fine, no use arguing. Well, this has certainly been nice. Perhaps we'll see each other again sometime. Yes. Should be plenty of wonderfully dangerous items in here. Oh yes, I'll stay here. That seems exceedingly likely.
like my faction accessories? Do they make me look handsome? Or too handsome?
Hostilities are afoot. Unit away. Recharge before it is targeted. Suffered extensive damage, Commander. Free energy. At ready status.
something interesting housed within that imposing edifice.
Proceeding to attack. Mitigating the threat. Taking the fight out of them.
Sharp enough.
Energy capacitor.
Still need a...
Such a haphazard electrical setup deserves careful scrutiny, but consider using eye protection gear. more than a few of these experimental weapons in my career. Messy, volatile, overpowered. Of course you want it, dear.
threat. Recharge for mayhem.
Shorpificator is charged. Recharge before it discharges. Self-preservation a priority.
Restore my life or avenge my death.
For our beneficent leader!
Disagree
Once the weapon is prepared. But do take a moment to admire its classic order industrial design. I'd theorize we can put this hazardous substance to good use as a means. As a more lethal ammunition. And we could use the Rift device to tap a bottomless source. Investigating hostile intention.
Seeking cover!
Commander, throwing it. I usually prefer assassination over technology theft. But I must admit, that was a delightful little heist.
Glorious Dawn encampment ahead. Wonder if they'll be happy to see us.
The architect has honored us.
Try my best. I'm having a hostile reaction.
Go for torpification.
pull some...
Standing by to stupefy. Free energy if you can reach it. Vitals are in the red.
Enemy spotted.
It's a fight! So, Dagmar didn't betray us to the Sentinels. She is a Sentinel, with a fucking office here in Central Control. It's enough to make one take leave of their sanity.
Oh, child, I think that tram has long since cleared the station.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. Fortunately, there's an easy solution to Dagmar's betrayal, one which involves removing her head from her body. Or maybe we should start with the disemboweling? So many choices.
Well, well, as a Helia Leitinger, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised you've made it this far. In addition to your wonderful thirst for wanton violence, you were always bright, though still somehow too thoroughly deluded to apprehend the truth. But then again, you never really wanted to, did you?
Keep it up, Commander, and you'll be next on my disemboweling list. Right after I fillet Dagmar here for her betrayal.
Yes, well, can it truly even be considered betrayal if it was always lies? And Aza's willful ignorance made her the perfect candidate when I started the Dawn at the Consul's behest.
What are you talking about? There were cultists before me!
No, there were not. The fiction of a cult was born out of the need to convince the Sovereign to return to the true spirit of the Protectorate. The Consul feared he was too weak. I see that Aza isn't the only willfully ignorant person here. Society needs to be controlled for the greater good, by any means necessary. Or would you prefer a more corporate way of life? If you have issue with the nature of humankind, perhaps you should take it up with the Grand Architect.
Dagmar, all this can't be right. How can you spout such lies? Our cause is righteous. It has to be.
And there it is. I almost felt sorry for you, Azahelia. You were so pathetic. So willing to believe specious arguments backed with only the flimsiest of proofs. Ah, well, such is life. But your usefulness is not yet at an end. Your death will put me back in the Consul's good graces. Goodbye, Aza.
No, that's too quick. What about... No, not painful enough. Yes, that's it. I just need to find a piece of heat-conducting metal and something to peel the skin effectively.
Dear, you really must try to work smarter, not harder, when it comes to effectively inflicting pain before eliminating a target. You'll wear yourself out.
What, you suddenly take issue with my methods? I can think of no reason to curtail the pleasure of my revenge. Dagmar must die. Violently. Her betrayal warrants no other response. I know of no other way to act.
Extensive damage, Commander.
Recharge the mayhem! Hostilities are afoot.
Is there
Energy
any-
capacity out. Energy is up for grabs. Show me up.
I'm alive.
Ratcheting up my aggression. Fortificator is charged. Don't become a statistic, Commander. Standing by to stupefy. Consider self-preservation a priority. Do try to limit further damage, Commander.
What was
How did you let Asa get this far? Stop her! She needs to assassinate me!
Capacitor unit away.
Unfriendly company. They're mine.
Investigating hostile vitals critical. Don't become a statistic, Commander.
Medic, please.
Giving chase.
Never made happy.
Hostile in proximity. Either restore my life or avenge my death.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Deployed. Free energy if you can reach it.
Combatant observed.
That's out of the order. Straight to
Ratcheting
it.
up my aggression. Light breathing back to stupefy.
That was certainly asinine.
Suspect to me.
Threat detected.
Dagmar would never let herself be cornered. She's sure to have an escape route. We should find it.
What was Merritt?
You're still alive! Now, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person.
There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Asa get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to. Well, I'm waiting to hear your ineffectual arguments as to why you should be spared. And then I'll kill you. You can start by telling me why. Why'd you do it, and why me?
Why? I'm a loyal subject to the True Protectorate. What other reason is there? When the Consul tasked me to help save the colony, I did not even think to ask why. And you were an obvious choice. So lost, so dead inside. But then you went berserk. I never could have imagined how you'd take to the killing and mayhem. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people.
Enough of this blathering on. It's well past time for Dagmar and her life to part ways.
Enemy intercepted.
She's dead. As am I. She should have suffered more for what she did. You know, for a moment there, I was questioning everything. But it quickly became obvious she was just lying to save herself. You're so naive. But don't feel bad. It took me until now to see through her subterfuge. No. The Glorious Dawn was always true. She was just using it for her own debased ends. Now that Dagmar is dead, I'll be leading the Dawn into the glorious future. True. There may be those that do not accept my leadership, but they will die. The Dawn is too important to disband. What little risk any of them may pose doesn't concern me. I can send out a general message from here, informing the cells that the previous Exalted Leader has betrayed us and has been dealt with, and that I am now in charge. I suspect some will simply jump into the closest rift. And to be perfectly candid, I'm hoping there are more than a few that refuse to acknowledge their new leader. Enough to keep my knife skills up at least. It's done. Let's leave this place. It sickens me.
thunder hangs from a thread! Prosecuting! Viscerally! Ready to dispense judgment!
My aftermarket parts are prime. Practicing some battlefield medicine. Three moving to cover.
Hostile thing.
Back in business. Pick me up for you.
Some trouble.
Wherever are they?
Guns cocked and loaded. Just get the signal.
Station filled.
Locating explosive.
Taking
cover.
Pick me up for you.
No escape.
Armed and ready.
Ne'er-do-wells.
dodgeball pros. It's like mental refreshment.
Why choose just any choice when you could choose Auntie's choice?
I'm trying not to fret about...
Ain't fond of all this fighting. Anything's better than Tau Ceti, though.
I must ask you to hold still. I thought I smelled gunpowder and blood. Hello again. I'm here for any doctorial services you may require. Yes, I can apply some Auntie's branded Deepwood. And there's...
Someday, when I make it big and low, I'm gonna come back here and buy this crummy
Leave me be. Have you two come to mock me like your fellow dullards? Perhaps if you rub together your only 2 brain cells, you might even come up with something approaching cutting. No. Wait. You're not some corporate simpleton, are you? On the contrary, you have the manner of an officer about you. Someone who understands the substantive weight of command. Please, allow me to start over. I am Warden Sterling, dedicated servant of the Protector of Arcadia and Caretaker of Worlds, the Sovereign Henry Varick. I'm not that kind of warden. It's a title of distinction for those who serve in the Protectorate military, short for Warden of the Realm. And if I did, What a strange argument. Obviously, I would prefer the contents of the armory remain with the Protectorate, but circumstances being what they are, perhaps you're right. We need more privacy before continuing this conversation. Go to the back of the building, and I shall meet you at the window of my cell. I'll be waiting.
Stop that scrounging around.
You're thinking too small, Murph. I'd put money on the Protectorate stashing treasure inside. A whole pool of bits enough to swim in.
It's a constabulary, not a bank. And certainly not some kind of gold-filled swimming hole. Besides, these Protectorate lack imagination. Never had an original thought wasn't written down for them first. Like I told you before, it's probably just guns.
We've tried everything short of skipping a ship through that door to get inside. Though, come to think of it, maybe that's not such a bad idea.
I'd love to see the quartermaster's face after turning her lamps onto that requisition request.
Fine, Skip drives out. Say, maybe we could commandeer one of them tractors out in the field instead. Oh, bet that could plow through the door.
In case you haven't noticed, we're in the middle of a war, and hard to say whether we're winning or not. Better question is why no one else is treating this like a top priority. Fair point. But most we've heard in answer to our request for more aid with the door is keep trying, which ain't exactly a strategy so much as an admonishment. In any siege, advantage goes to the defenders. Right now, the Protectorate still has control of the bridge to the Vox station. That station is the key to taking Paradise Island. When Officer Carr ever gets the go-ahead, we need to be ready. Well, hot damn. Suppose it was only a matter of time until Torres went against orders. Still wouldn't hurt to get a hold of any weapons and equipment inside that armory.
If there are any weapons at all, I still say it's treasure. This is Eden after all.
You've made your case, Kemp. I'm more interested in hearing the opinion of our new friend here. What do you suppose is in there?
Don't that strike you as a touch simple? And anyway, why would the Protectorate lock up everything they'd need to fight back? Unless they were trying to keep it from an invading force. Saying it aloud's altered my opinion somewhat. Fine, it's possible. I'll grant you.
I don't see it mattering much either way. That door is sealed tighter than a Saltuna can. Nobody's getting through anytime soon.
Oh, really? Why didn't you lead with that?
Ordinarily, I'd question how you came about such a unique skill set. But circumstances being what they are, have at it. Just know we're keeping an eye on you.
Commander, they're nice enough folk, reasonable or like, but they ain't equipped to rule. You saw how they could barely manage a refugee camp, let alone hold the archive. Sure, The folk here don't seem to trust Auntie's choice. But give it time. They'll see the difference between freedom and complete domination soon enough. Just as Tausetti did. Would it really? She's a natural leader. Decisive. She ain't gonna consult an abacus, 12 charts, and 3 hangers-on before making a move. Listen, normally I'd take issue with one person playing Kingmaker. That is to say, you, and especially the Earth Directorate. But time's too short, and the stakes are too high for tribalism. There'll be enough time for that later. For now, we need to ally with someone who can defeat the Protectorate and close the rifts. So whatever you decide, I'll support you. We should move on, unless you've got something for me.
Appreciate your help. These weapons are gonna save lives.
Told my manager, a man is not a slice of nanner, Mr. Overby. Then
We should be able to speak freely here without the risk of being overheard. There is an entrance on the roof by which you may gain ingress. Had these two dolts bothered to do even the most cursory inspection, they'd have found it.
Boy, take this terminal and trash it. That's it. I need a smoke.
I see a huge opportunity. You're back. Great. Build repeat customers is number 6 on our night. Pick your point.
You just stopping by to admire the mines, or is there something I can help you with? Only becomes a problem if the objects start talking back. Make my job a whole lot easier if they would, though. See this system here? It deploys extreme countermeasures against overhead attacks in the form of aerial explosives, oft referred to as sky mines by those who prefer brevity. However, the whole thing is currently non-operational. Some problem with the lifting mechanism. No lift means no sky mines. No sky mines means the enemy can blow in like a bad sail, and we'll all be passing in our bits before you can say, "Gee, nice weather we're having today." Please, I'm not some flathead doesn't know her hygroscopic compounds. You mess with the balance, you risk the whole thing combusting. Are you loaded to the bulkhead? There is no universe where that works. Law, I can't believe I'm agreeing to this. All right, scientist, do your worst. I'll be over there if you need me. Way over there. Should clear the blast radius at that distance. All right, so you got her working. Bully for you. No, sorry, you're right. You did me, and all of Fairfield, a good turn here. Just thought I'd feel more relieved when the launcher was working again. Here, managed to cobble some frags together from a damaged mine earlier. Who knows, might get you out of a pinch one of these days. And seeing how expertly you worked, you may as well take this armor modification too. I'm sure you'll have an easier time installing it than I would.
You certainly can't have mine. What kind of skills do you have? Whatever skills are needed. Hey, that's pretty catchy.
Simply not credulous enough to accept this is where I've ended up. Doing the work of at least 3 lackeys. A full half-dozen automechs, all by my lonesome. I'd welcome you, would-be consumer, but we are not a retail operation. Please visit the various consumer locations around Fairfield for all your purchasing needs. I have far too many claims on my time to be able to cater to the curious at the moment.